Hey, welcome back to the Cottage Kreations work table. I need some more room this time, and I'm working outside. So I'm working at the old picnic table that we built for one of our kottage-tek episodes. Hope you heard that. So this is going to be our work table today. We had a problem with beers at the dock. You've seen the earlier stuff, you know we got a problem. We got to get beers at the dock. So our project today is come up with a way to get beers from up here at the cottage, where the beer fridge is, all the way down to the end of the dock, where we are. Fairly quickly and efficiently without us having to walk all the way up here. So I've got some stuff to work on it. I've got 150 feet or more, probably closer to 200 feet of plastic coated braided stainless steel cable, also known as clothesline. But we're going to that's going to be the main thing. And what else we got here? Yeah, we got some all kinds of various assorted clothesline hardware. We got some of those pulley things that clip on the clothesline cable to keep it from sagging and coming apart. Some clothes pegs. These are going to come in handy for holding the prototype still, so it doesn't fly down to the dock and crash into the lake. So I'm going to need them. What else we got here? Yeah, we have all kinds of assorted clips and clamps and crimps and cable bolts and S-hooks and all kinds of stuff like that for putting all this stuff together. We're hoping to make a zip line to go down to the dock, and of course we need to be able to get the beers on the zip line going down. So I got a couple of these here beer cozy things. These are the things with a zipper on them. Put your beer in there, zip it up, and you get yourself a beer cozy. So I got a couple of them. We're going to need them. Of course, we don't have any way to hang them on the zip line, so I've got a couple lanyards here from a trade show. These are the lanyards they give you for your pass at the trade show. So I got a couple lanyards here. They're going to come in handy for helping to clip the beer onto the zip line. I've got some bolt cutters to help cut the cable and also crimp things on and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to use to build our zip line. And of course, I'm going to want to film all the action using this camcorder. So in order to do that, I got to figure out how to get the camcorder to go down the zip line with the beers. Okay guys, I don't mind wasting a few beers, but I'm not going to close the camcorder on this. So here's what I came up with. I've got some plumber strapping. This is a 3/4 inch metal strap stuff that has all the holes in it. Use it for tying up pipes, commonly used in plumbing. Comes in handy for all kinds of stuff. I've got that to use. Of course, the handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. We're going to need lots of that. And well, you remember the old touring Troy built? Now it's summer, so we've retired that for the season. We'll get that back out in the winter when we need to go to town in a snowstorm. But in the meantime, it's sitting there with perfectly good cup holders on it that aren't using cup holders. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm going to borrow one of the cup holders off the old touring Troy built and use this to build a camera dolly. So let's get the zip line done and see what we can come up with. I think we're going to have some fun. Okay, so here we are at the uphill end of the zip line, the start of the business end. Basically, I just put a hook in at the cottage. I've got a great big turnbuckle on the end of the cable, and I've got the cable tied to the end of the turnbuckle. This way I can get the cable strong, and I can use this turnbuckle to slack and get it tied nice and taut. Because the last thing you want is a saggy cable, and the beers end up stopping halfway to the dock. We don't want that to happen. So we want a nice straight line from here all the way to the end of the dock, so when we put the beer skis on it, they get all the way to the end of the dock. Because that's what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, here we are at the downstream end of the zip line, the Beer Me zip line, and of course here's my cable, and I've got it tied to, again, another one of those great big turnbuckles, so that I can take up the tension on that cable and get it nice and tight. And by the way, I've installed this post on the end of the floating dock. This is what I'm anchoring it to. It's just a 2x4. It's attached to the dock. I might leave it here. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but hey, maybe someday we'll want to install I don't know, a satellite dish or rabbit ears antennas, or maybe we'll want to hang a flag on it. So, or just bolt an owl light that we get from a construction site. So I've got this post on. Might leave it here, but for now, it's the downstream anchor for our kottage-tek Beer Me zip line. Okay, well now that we got the zip line all set up, we got to figure out how to get the beers on the zip line so we get them to go down the zip line to get from the cottage down to the dock. So I thought of all kinds of stuff. I picked up pulleys at the hardware store, or we tried all kinds of gizmos and clamps and whatever. And you know, considering we're using clothesline cable basically for the zip line, I figured, you know, they've already invented this. All you people that have ever used old clotheslines, you'll recognize one of these things. This is that roller thing that you put on the clothesline to keep the two cables together so they don't sag too much. You know something? These bad boys work pretty darn good. They got the pulley on them, so they roll down the cable really nice. They got a pulley on the other end, don't really need that. So that's going to go down the cable pretty easy. I got to figure out how to get a beer on it. Took a piece of clothesline cable, put a couple of S-hooks on it, and that hooks nicely on the bottom pulley. And the top pulley sits on the zip line cable, and down she goes. And now I just got to hook the beers up to this. That is where these come in. Of course, you put the beer in these. It's like a wetsuit for your beer. But I got to figure out how to hook this on. So, coming home from a recent trade show, I happen to have some lanyards. These are the things that they give you for your passes at the trade show, hang around your neck. So I figured we'll put this over the beer, like so. Put the beer, I'm going to do this without spilling my beer, because I haven't finished this one yet. See where we're going with this? Now I got a leash for my beer. I can easily hang this from the S-hook, and now I got a beer going down the kottage-tek Beer Me zip line. Works pretty good. You know what else is nice? You know, get tired of carrying tools around and trying to carry a beer? Now I'll never lose my beer. Doubly handy. So that's how we're going to hang the beers from the zip line and get them to go down. And of course, I wanted to shoot some of this action. Because let's face it, getting a camera shot of the beers going down the zip line has got to be way too cool. So I need a way to get, now I could have gone out and bought camera dollies and all kinds of expensive camera stuff, but that's not how we do it up here with kottage-tek. Up here at kottage-tek, we do it with what we got in the toolbox and what we got in the crawl space. So I had to come up with a way to get a camera shot of this camcorder following the beers down the zip line, preferably without me on it. So I needed some more toys. And this is where I figured, you know, the old cottage plunger, the cup holder from the touring Troy built, they certainly come in handy. And I got a couple of these. Now these are newer style of those pulley things for the clothesline. Newer than those cast aluminum ones. And these ones just happen, you figuring this out yet? These just happen to fit perfectly on a broom handle. So now I got something that I can put on that cable. Yeah, I kind of like the rocket booster sort of look on the end of this. It's going to look extra cool on the line coming down. So now I got something to hang the camera from. I just got to figure out how. That's where the strapping comes in. I don't want the camera right up against this because the camera is going to be up here and the beers are going to be hanging way down there. So I need a way to get the beer sort of in front of the camera, or I should say the camera down behind the beer. So that's what the strapping is going to come on. I think I can get this done, so let's see if I can rig something up and get something working on the cable. This is going to be fun. Okay, so here we've got the kottage-tek Beer Me zip line all rigged up, ready to go, ready for our first serious shooting. We got the clothesline thingy-mabobber here with the piece of clothesline on it, and of course we got our beer hanging in our little beer cozy with our lanyard. Of course, that's the important thing to get down to the dock, so that I can catch the action. Here I've got my camera rig. That's the camera rig that's going to carry the camera. As you see, I've got the tower follower strap. That's going to make sure my camera stays the right distance from the beers to see them going down. And here's my strap for hanging my camera on. Now, obviously, because the camera's over there shooting, I can't have it here. So I have, just for demonstration purposes, I've duct taped my BlackBerry to the bottom of this rack so that the BlackBerry shoots video, so the BlackBerry can shoot some video of the beers. Okay, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to put the camera on here. I'm gonna have to find something else to shoot some video or take some stills of the camera actually mounted on this. But that's basically the effect. We're gonna duct tape the camera on this. I'm holding it still with a clothes peg, but the basic idea is away it goes. Okay, for all those who are interested, we get a little more detail. Here we've got the clothesline thingy hanging on the zip line, and the small loop, and of course the lanyard with the beer hanging on it. And of course, there's our little leash strap. That is going to make sure that the video camera actually follows the beers at the right distance. And going back, here's my camera caddy. This is what's going to hold the camera. And there's the strap to hold the camera. And here, for the sake of demonstration purposes, as I mentioned, yes, I've actually duct taped my BlackBerry just to show you how the camera would be hung to get a picture of the beers. And if we get the BlackBerry out of the way, that's kind of our camera shot of the beers going down the dock. And by the way, that's the shot, straight line through the trees down to the end of the dock. Relax, it's a company BlackBerry, I'm not worried about it. Oh hey, I'm glad you're still here. Before you go, hey, you've seen how we had the problem down the dock. You've seen the solution for the problem and exactly how well it works. You've even seen how we built the kottage-tek Cottage Kreations Beer Me zipline. And man, it works. Bet you've been thinking, why the heck did he build a camera dolly? You know something? For a good reason, and you're about to see it. How'd you like to go for a ride with a couple of beers down the kottage-tek Cottage Kreations Beer Me zipline? This should be a fun ride. Come on, let's go for a ride with a couple of beers. Wow, that was a wild ride. Well, there you have it. The problem, how we solved it, how well the solution works. You even got to see how we built the kottage-tek Beer Me zipline. Even got to go for a ride down the kottage-tek Beer Me zipline. So now you know how a couple of cold ones are going to feel. I bet they can't wait to get down there and to get into our hands as well. So anyway, hey, again, thanks for coming on to kottage-tek. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on kottage-tek.